from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Get me on here. Okay, good morning, folks. Good morning from the office. BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Good morning from the office. We are 5 days. You know, I'm going to tell you what, you can be mad all day long, Republicans. You can be mad, conservatives, Tea Party, whatever you want. But Obama didn't lie to his side of the aisle. He didn't lie to his side. He told his side, he told his crowds they were 5 days away. And trans, right. Little did we know the key word in the front of that, the mystery word was trans. We're going to transform. He enunciated, transform America. And he is going to leave us a social experiment of a mess. This man has taken 8 years, and he has turned our military into a social experiment. You know, and the worst thing is these Ivy League types, these Harvard and Yale, they're enjoying this because they can do research on it. Oh, God, they're having bow tie parties. They're wearing bow ties, and they're drinking wine, and they're in these rooms up in Connecticut and around Hartford and out there in Harvard and, you know, Columbia and Yale, and they're discussing the research they can do, the research. I'd like to save the country. That's why Donald Trump's resonating for a guy like me. Now, I like a good bow tie from time to time, so I'm not knocking on bow ties. I shouldn't even, you know, there's nothing against bow ties this morning. But he has made the country, the world, a social experiment. He has gone all at the Arab Spring. He has our men and women still in danger in hot zones all around the world. But he is transforming. Now, folks, let me get this real quick. Now, there's a couple things. We're going to be talking about the transgender bathroom issue in Fannin County. We're going to be talking about that. I want to clear up a couple quick things. One, I'm your host, BKP. It's 8:04 this morning, Thursday morning. We are going to have 2 candidates this morning stop by. Between now and the Monday, the 23rd, we're going to do everything we can to get a couple candidates from day to day, whether they're call-in. And we're going to just let these people ask for your vote, okay? Meet these candidates, talk to these candidates. We're going to let these people ask for your vote. So we have probate judge candidates, Gilmer County probate judge candidates coming in this morning. We'll start with a couple. Today we're going to have at 8:30, we're going to have Susan Keener, candidate for probate judge here in Gilmer County. And at 9 o'clock, we're going to have Josh Teague. So those 2 are today. Now, tomorrow morning, we're going to have Andrew Lohman, and I'm trying to work out getting Scott Chastain in here. I haven't heard from him. But every day we're going to discuss candidates and get candidates in here between now and Election Day just let them ask for your vote, all right, get you information. Now, Trump is going to Capitol Hill. Let me wrap this up really quick for you, really quick. Trump is going to Capitol Hill today. The media is making a circus out of it. Just a total circus, all right? And will Ryan endorse? First of all, the Republicans have forgot about the excitement of actually having a Republican candidate that will win, okay? They forgot how that works. It's been 8 years. So they don't even understand. Most people, the media, most people don't know how this works anyway. The Republicans know they can win this one. No matter what you're hearing from Mitt Romney or whatever else from some holdouts, they know they can win this one, okay? You didn't see the frenzy 4 years ago or 8 years ago because John McCain was in the middle of trying to help spend $800 billion when his campaign came to an end. And Mitt Romney, there was nothing to get excited about there. So they did not invite Mitt Romney up to Capitol Hill to put strategy together about taking over the White House. So first of all, people are not used to this. There's actually a Republican candidate. You know, the president, it's been 8 years, is going to be gone. It's going to be a new president. So you don't see Hillary Clinton rushing up to Capitol Hill to meet with Nancy Pelosi. And, you know, she's still feeling the burn. And Harry Reid. All right, that being said, I put a little thing on Facebook this morning. Every morning I put something on Facebook. And I put several things we're going to talk about. One person actually wrote back and picked up something that I did on Facebook. I wrote, Donald Trump meets with Donald Trump today, and I got a message that said, don't you mean Donald Trump meets with Paul Ryan? Look, Donald Trump does not have to meet with anybody. He doesn't have to meet with anybody. There's a quote. Donald Trump says, we're going to beat Hillary Clinton either way, but unity is much better. When Trump says something like that, you have to pay attention to what he's laying out. Number one, he's going to meet with a 46-year-old kid. That's exactly right. A 46-year-old kid. Now, Paul Ryan has to insert his power. Paul Ryan can't come out as a punk. He has to exert that he's got power, and he has to make Trump think you need me. That all has to be there for Paul Ryan, okay? But the last thing Paul Ryan needs is for Donald Trump to do a campaign to remove Paul Ryan, not from the convention, but from the Speaker of the House position. Like he just did a campaign to take down 16 others. Paul Ryan cannot afford that. So Paul Ryan's going to use a play on words, and he's going to say, I've not yet decided to get behind all this. I have to see how this is going to work. They've changed the word policy to principle. So they're going to meet today, all right? Now, Donald Trump's going to go in there, and he's not going to say this, but he's going to say, look, kid, you're 46 years old. I just finished off 16 people. Now, if you would like to be number 17, that's up to you. Because all I have to do, you see, kid, the media is not waiting for you to come out. Now, you may think they're waiting for you to come out, and they are. For some of them, they're waiting to hear what Paul Ryan says. And damn it, it's like Groundhog Day. We're waiting to see if Poxitani Phil comes out what he says. They're all up there. They're going to hold. Trump's going to hold. Here's what's going to happen. Trump's going to come out, and he's going to be holding little Paul Ryan up, going like this. And he's going to say, I seen my shadow. It's Groundhog Day. Here, I got Poxitani Ryan. Look, folks, here's what's going to happen. The media's all up there waiting to see if they see their shadow. But this is simple. He's going to walk in there. He's going to say, look, kid, you're 46 years old. You're a nice young man. I like you. You happen to be from an area of Wisconsin, that didn't vote for me. So good for you. But let me tell you who did vote for me. This is how many million. Now, I just moved 16 people out of the way. You want to go through the list, Paul? Paul, you want to go through the list of the 16 people I just moved out of the way? Now, would you like to be number 17? Because, Paul, if I go out here, there's two things can happen. I can say to the microphones out there, I think I can work with Paul Ryan as Speaker of the House. That's the only sentence I have to say. And we're okay. But Paul, if I go out to that microphone and I say, well, the meeting didn't go bad, I hope Paul is the speaker when I'm the president, but, it could be difficult working with him. That's how Trump does. maybe another Speaker of the House may be easier to work with. Paul, you're through. You understand, that is code word for unleashing the whole American public that is behind me, and don't underestimate them, to start doing a campaign to remove you as Speaker of the House. So do you want to be number 17, or do you want me to go out to the microphone and think, you know what, this Paul Ryan, he's a good guy. We have several of the same principles. I think I'm ready to send my mandate down to Capitol Hill, and I think I'm ready to send it to Paul Ryan, and I think I'm ready to work with him to accomplish what we want to get done. If Trump comes out and does that today, it will be enormous for Paul Ryan. So folks, he does not need Paul Ryan, okay? This is Trump's way of being nice, letting a little kid look like, letting the little kid get first in line for the roller coaster, okay? And letting him have it. I'm just telling you, don't get all excited about this meeting today. Trump comes out today and says, Paul Ryan's okay. But if Trump comes out today and Ryan does not, if these people on Capitol Hill do not listen to Trump, and in the art of the deal, in the negotiations, if Trump doesn't come out on top today, you watch, Paul Ryan will wish he never met Donald Trump. So there you go. That's it. Quit worrying about that today. Don't worry about it. This is all set up for Paul Ryan to come out and look good, save face as a 46-year-old kid to Donald Trump. All right? Donald Trump does not need to talk to anybody. He does not. Donald Trump doesn't come out of the meeting and start making phone calls to his donors and say, I did it exactly the way you told me. Or I did, the donor calls, you get out, yes. Did you tell him what I said? Yes, sir, I told him what you said. Okay, that's not going to happen. All right, we're going to move past that because we got Susan Keener coming in here at 8:30. Now, the Board of Education for Fannin County has moved. They have moved the meeting today. They have moved it to the cafeteria, the high school cafeteria, Fannin County High School cafeteria. They are asking you, same time, everything's the same. The Board of Education workshop at 4:30 is the same time. The meeting's at 6 o'clock. Everything time-wise is the same that you would see any other time for the Board of Education for Fannin County. But they have moved the meeting to the high school cafeteria to accommodate potential crowds they're expecting. That being said, they've asked you to park on the stadium side. The Performing Arts Center is having a scholarship awards night. Do not park on the Performing Arts Center side, please, if you're going tonight to the meeting. Park on the stadium side. There will be a side door to the cafeteria that will be open. So you can do that, okay? You can park on that side. Now, I will be up there. We understand, sources tell us that at First Baptist Church parking lot in Blue Ridge is where people will assemble. We'll call it protesters, but that's where they're supposed to assemble. We're thinking 5 o'clock. They're supposed to march together to the over to the Board of Education meeting. So there's supposed to be a march from there to the Board of Education meeting. I am asking you, I am telling you and encouraging you to be there. Yes. But I'm encouraging you, I'm telling you, no foul language at the Board of Education, no pushing, no shoving. Even if you see some people dressed as transgenders, this is not a joke. This could happen, folks. This could happen. In fact, even if you go in the bathroom and you see this, Lottie, we got the picture of what we seen yesterday. We got that? Mm-hmm. All right. Even, just saying you walk in the bathroom and this is what you see, right? Take the picture down, Lottie. Enough's enough. All jokes aside, folks, if transgender people, if anyone of opposition to what you believe in is there, please, no violence. I am going to tell you, I think the nation will be watching. I'm serious. I think the nation will be watching. I got a call from Amarillo, Texas yesterday. I was on the phone with a news director in Amarillo, Texas yesterday for about 30 minutes. The world will be watching maybe. We have 3 news desks. You may think this is silly, okay? But we have 3 news desk companies that search fetchyournews.com that we have been contacted from that go through things and put up. See, what you might not realize is there's an ABC London, and there's an ABC Singapore, and there's an ABC in Italy. There's an NBC. There's this, that. There is nightly news all over the world. And there's three or four companies that internationally search certain websites all over to look for worldwide international news. FetchYourNews.com, we have been contacted. We have signed releases with 3 international companies to use our information, and it has been used in the past. So I'm just telling you, the world could be watching, the country could be watching, all of Georgia, the issue in North Carolina going on. You've seen Barack Obama wants to transform this country and turn it into a social experiment. The Department of Justice wants to they want to help right a wrong in transgender equality in North Carolina. We've seen all that. No fighting, no kicking, no screaming. Peaceful protest in numbers, okay? The walls of Jericho. That's the only way I can put it. March around the walls of Jericho. Do not engage. Do not get in a fight, no matter how upset you are today, if you see any other protest signs in opposition to what you believe in. That's what I'm begging you today. We will be there. We will have somebody at the protest area. We will have somebody march with protesters. We will have our cameras inside the Board of Education. We will bring it live to you on FYN TV. You'll be able to click on FYN TV and watch the Board of Education live. We will have our microphone. We are going to do live interviews, okay? We are going to invite people to the camera and do live interviews. So it's going to be a long evening, and you can get it all through FYN TV, FetchYourNews.com, FYN TV, right what you're watching now. Moving on. You know, why now? Now, I'm not going to say all of these politicians are not worthy of your vote. There's only one today I'm going to say do not vote for. But betrayal is betrayal. And I'm not going to tell you which politician to vote for or say that this is a list of people not to vote for. I'm not going to get into that. Hear this very clearly. Lynn Doss, the county attorney in Fannin County, released a statement, okay? I guess she's feeling the heat. The only question I would have for the county attorney is, why didn't you preempt this? Why didn't you start a year ago? Why didn't you make the calls on behalf of the board? Why didn't you start working on this? Now, I'm not going to make fun of this, but if any of us want to make a difference, this is what the county attorney says, okay? First of all, she is saying the separation of church and state is the bedrock of our country. First of all, I wish you would put the actual meaning of the separation of church and state for the people as the founding fathers intended it. Do not, please do not tell me separation of church and state. Don't do it. Do not do it, okay? Unless you preempt it with what the founding fathers. I'm not in the mood to hear separation of church and state right now, okay? The issue of who can go into which restroom legally is truly a legal issue. This is from the county attorney, folks. It's truly a legal issue. Really? Really? I did not know when, oh my God, I was hoping this wouldn't happen. All right, let's go to third grade, okay? Now, we had scheduled bathroom breaks in third grade. So, at a certain time, the whole class, it was bathroom break. So you went down the hall, there was the girls' room and the boys' room. And the girls were in a line and the boys were in a line. And the teacher will allow 3 boys in the bathroom at once and 3 girls in the bathroom at once. And when the 3 girls came out, 3 more got to go in. I'm going to let the county attorney now know I did not realize that day in third grade that me going in the bathroom and doing whatever was a legal issue. Because my God, in the third grade, if I'd have just thought that every time I got to go in the bathroom of my biological gender, that I was entering into a legal issue, God forbid. Now, it's a legal issue. Throughout our nation's history, there have been landmark decisions that ultimately affect all of us. The North Carolina cases will be such. If any of us want to make a difference, so this is from the county attorney, if any of us want to make a difference in this matter, there are 3 things we can do individually. Now, nobody hired you as our guidance counselor. You're not hired to be our guidance counselor. You're hired to be the county attorney. Now, first A, she gives you A. Pray for wisdom and guidance. You know, it always gets me when the first thing is, well, we need to pray. Oh, we need to pray. We need to pray for an answer. We need to pray for God to intervene here. You know what? I don't think you realize God's answered the prayer. You're the answer. Show up. You're the answer. Take on the battle. You're the answer. Show up in large numbers by the thousands. Now, I'm not telling you not to pray, but pray. God's already sent you the answer. You're not listening, people. If you were listening to the answer of your prayers today, they will fly over with television choppers because 30,000 people will be in Blue Ridge today in harmony, in peace, in protest. So first, let's pray for wisdom and guidance. Wisdom and guidance. What? What the heck? Guidance? There's a whole book called Guidance. It's the Bible. I'm not going to preach you. I swear to God I'm not. But that one just does this to me. Contact the individuals that we have elected to address and make laws for us in a matter such as this would be the individuals elected to represent us. I know you didn't just tell me that. Contact the individuals. Oh my God, let's go to the almighty elected politicians, because my God, they're getting everything right. Well, they are just doing it all for us. Well, listen, let me tell you something. You're asking us to contact David Perdue. Why didn't you contact him a year ago? Why didn't you? Why didn't you pick up the phone and say, look, man, I'm representing the Board of Education here in Fannin County, which really means I'm representing 20,000 people. I'm representing 3,000 students, and we're walking into a hornet's nest. Could you look at passing a law? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you tell the students? Now, if sources are correct, this transgender bathroom issue did not happen last week. One source that called me said this has been happening for a long time. So why didn't you tell us to pray months ago? Why didn't you tell us to call months ago? Why didn't we get in touch with the local officials down in Atlanta? We can't even get a governor. You have the audacity to write Governor Nathan Deal. Here, if you want to let's see, David Perdue, Johnny Isaacson. Really? That's what we need to do. You need to really? Now here's one. Contact Doug Collins. And you know what, Doug Collins, really contact Doug Collins? All right. On the state level, you can contact Nathan Deal. No direct email. When I called and asked earlier today, I was told that an individual would have to go to gov.georgia.gov, contact us, and email that way, and there was no email to be given. Other means of contact: Office of the Governor, 206 Washington Street, Capitol, Georgia, phone number 404. Why didn't you put this information out before session? Why didn't you put this information out when we couldn't even get this governor to sign the Religious Liberty Bill? Seriously? Call the governor. Oh my God, we got a problem in transgender bathrooms, but we know Governor Deal won't even sign the Religious Liberty Bill, but my God, he will stop fundraising long enough to do something about transgender bathrooms. Really? Really? Huh? He fell to Delta, Miss Doss. He fell to Home Depot, Miss Doss, and you want us to contact the governor? Now, the list goes on. I've got to take a break, and we're going to get a candidate in here to meet with us. I got to take a break, but after our first candidate meeting, we're going to get right back into this because the list goes on of government officials she would like you to contact. And as I read them, think about what they have done for you lately, and they're asking to be reelected. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. When we come back, we will have our first guest, Gilmer County probate judge candidate Susan Keener. So stay with us right after these messages. We want to thank several of our sponsors. Days Chevrolet, located on 515 in Jasper. Circuit World, promotional code fetchernews.com. Circuit World, L&L Beanery, downtown Blue Ridge Coffee Shop, free Wi-Fi. Go down there, get a fresh cup of coffee, turn on the computer, and watch the show at L&L Beanery, downtown Blue Ridge. Salon 84 Hair and Color, West Church Street in Jasper. Make your appointment today, 706-253-9876. Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique, located in Jasper. Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique, and Schottenkirk Ford. Schottenkirk Ford wants to invite you to come meet their new management team. They're located on 515 down in Jasper. We'll be back after these brief messages with our candidate guest. I'm your host, BKP. Lonnie, take us to break.
Doug Collins can't defend his own record. What does he do? He tries to divert our attention from his record, and he's diverting it onto Paul Brown. He is refusing to stand up and talk to us about his record. He wants to talk to us about Windstream. Any congressman that's sitting up there is going to try to help the people with their issues with Windstream. Any congressman sitting up there is going to try to help their people when the Corps of Engineers changes the rules on pulling water out to water your grass. Any congressman will do that. But will any congressman go up there and vote against omnibus bill? Will any congressman go up there and stand for the 9th District instead of standing for Washington? Will any congressman go up there and tell Washington what the 9th District wants instead of coming back here and telling us why Washington has to have his way? I'll tell you, no, not just any congressman will. Let Doug Collins come back and sit down and get out of our hair. This is Mike Scoopine, and I approve this message.
Paid by Scoopine for Congress.
Trust. Round here, we trust people who get things done. Like our state representative, David Ralston. He's cut taxes and balanced the state budget every year. And Ralston delivers. New roads, new jobs, a new university, and the toughest immigration laws in America. Those Washington guys talk big, but never deliver. Round here, we trust David Ralston. Ralston gets it done.
Doug Collins has been a bad representative for the 9th District.
How bad is it?
Doug is such a bad representative that he won't even represent himself against his challengers for the 9th District seat. Well, that's pretty easy to understand. After all, showing up to defend a record like Doug's is a pretty tall order. Since taking office, Doug has voted with the House leadership over 90% of the time. Doug voted for Boehner for Speaker twice. He voted to spy on you, to bail out Wall Street banks in advance of the next crisis, to train Islamic radicals to take down foreign governments that pose no threat. Doug voted for the Omnibus, voted to fund every Title X Planned Parenthood appropriation, and then has the nerve to try to sell you that he did not vote to fund abortion. If you want a representative who will work tirelessly to undo every wrong Doug Collins has done against the will of the 9th District, vote for Mike Scoopine, a proven leader protecting the U.S. Constitution.
It's Mike Scoopine, and I approve this message.
Paid by Scoopine for Congress.
In 2015, our Gilmer County Probate Court heard over 1,300 criminal cases, 250 estate and guardianship matters, and probate administered 110 plus wills. Those are very serious issues, and experience matters. We talked about the fact that every county with more than 96,000 people has a licensed attorney as their probate judge. The state requires it. They don't hear different cases. They don't hear different matters, and I don't believe that the due process you receive when you go to the probate court should be based off the county you live in. You want to have a judge who's been there, who's been on the other side of the bench, who's argued that, who knows it, and who can help you. Because compassion isn't always just about being able to listen, but it's being able to do something when you do listen. Experience matters, and I will use my experience in my private practice, in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and in 2 judges' chambers for the people of Gilmer County.
With early voting starting May the 2nd and the primary beginning on May the 24th, you'll be voting to elect leaders to several offices here in Fannin County. When it comes to the Chief Magistrate, you need someone that demonstrates honesty, integrity, and experience. Since being appointed by the Superior Court judges, I've made it my passion to uphold the same values and principles as the Honorable Judge before me. Whether it is answering the call when our community needed me or operating under budget during my term as Chief Magistrate, it's clear that throughout my 11 years of experience, I have always had Fannin County's best interests at heart. So this May, vote for the right choice. Vote for honesty, integrity, and experience. Vote to keep Sherry Walker.
Good morning from the office. I'm BKP, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I want to apologize to my dear friend here, Josh Teague. I got it backwards, folks. Actually, Lonnie did. I figure somehow Lonnie did this somehow, okay? But yes, we are going to have all of the probate judge candidates here. And I kind of got it a little backwards. Mr. Teague is my 8:30 guest. I apologize to you, Mr. Teague.
No problem, Brian.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been called worse things than Susan before, so thank you for having me here.
This is Gilmer County probate judge candidate Josh Teague, and what we're doing, good to have you there, Mr. Teague. What we're doing is we're for the next week, we're getting as many candidates for as many races, just basically to come in and ask for people's votes. And if somebody, I know you have done a lot of forums and debates and meet and greet and handshaking and ads, but if there's just somebody out there that hasn't got an opportunity to meet you, we want to have more of a personal 15-minute conversation. You're currently an attorney. You're from Gilmer County. Family lives here in Gilmer County, and you're currently a practicing attorney here in Gilmer County?
That's right. I've been in practice here in Gilmer County for over 5 years with John Mahan at Mahan and Associates. I'm from Gilmer County, lived here my whole life. My family's lived here back before the Civil War. My wife's family's from here, so this is home for us. This is where our roots are. Before I went into private practice, I completed internships with two of our Superior Court judges, Chief Judge Brenda Weaver and Judge Roger Bradley, who just retired. And before doing that, I went into a internship program with the United States Attorney's Office. And when I was in high school, I actually started when I was 17 years old working at Clark & Clark with Herman and David Clark, Barry Lee over there. I worked through college there up until I started law school. So one way or the other, I have been involved in the legal field since I was 17 years old. So this is a passion of mine. It's something I feel passionately about, and I have for all of my adult life. And really the reason I got into this race, probably the question I hear most often is, well, why did you do that? Why did you get into this race? Why are you running for probate judge? I feel like the county needs someone with the experience and with the qualifications that I bring. And I like Judge Mullins that's in there now. I'm not saying anything bad about her or anybody we've had in the office before, but as time goes on, the duties of the court have changed somewhat, what they address, how serious those issues have become, and how complicated they've become has changed. And, you know, every county in this state that has over 96,000 people, you're required to have a licensed attorney serve as the probate judge. Now, we're a smaller county, so we don't have that requirement, but we have the same cases that a county with 96,000 people has. We have the same kind of cases that Gwinnett County or Fulton County has. You know, our probate court last year here in Gilmer County heard over 1,300 criminal cases, around 250 estate and guardianship matters, and had about 120 or so wills that came through that were either probated or administered. And those are really serious matters, especially to the people that are in front of the court on that. You know, every one of those cases, the judge gets to decide, does somebody go to jail? Do they have to pay a fine? Do they get committed to a mental institution or a nursing home against their will? The judge can give away total decision-making authority to another person over someone. The judge can say, Brian, you're not allowed to make your own medical decisions anymore. You're not allowed to make your own financial decisions anymore, and give that power to somebody else. So those are really serious things, and the judge has a really important role there. You may have an attorney in the court arguing the case, but it's actually up to the judge to decide what happens. So I feel like that just because we live in a small county, you don't deserve a different level of protection under the law as somebody in Fulton County. You know, if you go to court, you deserve to have someone who's practiced law, who understands law, who's been certified by the state of Georgia that they're competent in the law to hear your case and make your decision.
Well, you know, Josh, you brought up a lot of big issues that require serious decisions, and I must agree on that. There's a lot of serious decisions, and I will say to you, when when I said to somebody, I think when the race started, the campaign started, I said, I want to get the four candidates together and I want to ask them some questions. And somebody says, probate judge, what do you want to know about a probate judge? And I got to thinking, if you know what actually decisions come before these people in the course of the day, you may be more interested in who you vote for probate judge. Maybe, so I think it's a serious decision that the people have to make. And I think in all due respect, you're valid when you say, Judge Mullins is chose to retire, but things are changing. Actually, judges today are walking in. They're probably saying today, "Oh Lord, what's going to come before this bench this morning?" Or what's somebody going to say in the different world we live in, as we both understand. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think the state, you said 96,000, is it 96,000? Why do you think the state has put 96,000 as the threshold requiring the probate judge to be a licensed practicing attorney? Why do you think they've used that number for a threshold, and why haven't they moved that down to 36,000 or 50,000 or adjusted it down for the seriousness of things you bring up? What's your thought on that?
Well, you know, it's an arbitrary number, 96,000. I don't know where they came up with that number at. The explanation I've been given when I've asked people that might have been involved in a similar process or changing that process is simply that the very rural counties in South Georgia, where there are just a handful of people, one stoplight kind of towns, there may not be an attorney that would take that position. They may have an attorney serving 2 or 3 towns or counties, you know, and that could be an issue there. I really don't understand how it's an issue here. And quite frankly, even in a county where you only have 1 or 2 attorneys, they have a judge, and the judge is qualified just like our judge here in Gilmer County is. They're Superior Court judge. So I feel the same should apply to your probate judge. If you have somebody who gets to decide if they can take away your life, liberty, or property, in this case, I'm not meaning put you in jail with a death penalty, but they can put you in jail.
Right.
You know, that is a serious matter, and I don't understand how you can really have somebody performing that job who doesn't have the training. You know, the probate court judge at the end of this election, whoever is elected, they'll get a 40-hour training class, and that's not 40 credit hours. That's Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, 1 week, 40 hours. And the question I've asked people is, you know, can you train someone to do your job in 40 hours? And so far, I haven't had anybody tell me yes. You know, that's a serious responsibility to have somebody come in after they've had 40 hours of training and decide if you should go to jail or decide if your will should be invalid, and everything you've ever worked for your entire life now goes to somebody you didn't mean to have it, or if you should go be put in a mental institution, or somebody should be able to put you in a nursing home. I would like to have someone with more than a week's worth of experience come in and make that decision if it's my case.
I think you've done a very good job articulating the seriousness of the position and what can come before a judge and some of the serious decisions that will be made. You have the authority to make decisions over people's liberty, and their rights. So I think you've done a good job articulating that and the reasons why you feel the position should have somebody what you feel the qualifications should be. But I think you and I both know, okay, with all of that said, the number one question I get, and I think the number one question you have gotten through the campaign is, will you be a full-time probate judge? Now, I think you would agree that's a fair question, because it's probably one of the biggest questions you've had throughout the campaign. Is it correct?
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought this up, because I want to kind of clear the air on this issue. I think there's been a lot of discussion about this and maybe some misinformation on this as well. I was the first candidate to announce on this race, and since I announced, I have been consistent in my answer that yes, I will be a full-time probate judge. And there's been some discussion of whether you're going to be full-time or 100% full-time. Well, you know, you're either full-time or you're not. And I have promised that I will be there when the court's open. I'm going to keep regular business hours. I will be a full-time judge. There's no way to be more full-time than full-time. I will be as full-time as anybody that has ever held that position before. And really, when it comes to this issue, you know, after business hours are over, everybody goes home. Everybody does something else. Somebody may go home and fish. Somebody may go race go-karts, or just go home and watch Netflix or catch up on Fetch Your News. You know, after business hours, I can't say what I'll be doing. But when the court's open, I'll keep regular business hours. And if you need me at 3 in the morning, if there's an emergency, you can call me. Just a couple of Sundays ago, I got a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning from a client. I was at my office at 3:10. Working on an emergency, and I had it resolved by lunchtime for them. I will bring that same dedication the people of Gilmer County. You know, I've always been hardworking. I've always committed myself to whatever I'm going to do. I don't think you'll find anybody that would ever tell you anything different. And that's the commitment I'm making to the people of this county. I want to be your full-time probate judge. And really, when it comes to this issue, I don't think I've taken a position that's any different than any other candidates. And you know, I can't speak for them necessarily other than what they've said, but Susan Keener said she's going to be a full-time probate judge, and I believe her. And Andrew Lohman has. I believe him. Scott Chastain said he's going to be a full-time probate judge. He's going to keep his business, and he'll go on the weekends and the evenings and catch up there. I don't have any reason not to believe him. I'm not prepared to say that any of them are not telling the truth, that any of them are lying. If anyone else in the race is prepared to say that, then it's an issue where there's a difference. But otherwise, I think every candidate has taken the position that they'll be a full-time probate judge.
Well, I think obviously you work very hard to obtain your law license, and you put a lot of time into it, and you work very hard to obtain a law license, and it would be understandable you're going to maintain your law license. But I guess on the full-time, some would say, and I've been asked this, yes, you'll maintain your law license, but will you continue to practice law outside of the probate judge office? And I think when somebody just says, will you be a full-time probate judge? I believe you'll be a full-time, I do this, or somebody goes and works somewhere full-time today, and I respect your answer and have no reason to question that. I think sometimes what is questioned, or the question I get is, obviously you'll keep your law license, but will you continue to practice law? And I think that's what the question on full-time is. So,
And I think, you know, the most honest and fair answer I can give you there is what I've said. I will maintain my name with the firm I'm at now. I'll be at the probate court when court's open. We brought a girl in when I decided to run for this office back in 2014. And we started interviewing people at that point to come in and pick up the slack of what I've been doing. And we hired Rebecca Kendrick in 2015, and she's been with us since early 2015. If she needs me to come in the evening and review something that she's done to give her some more guidance on some things, or if I'm asked to, you know, prepare a document or look at a letter or make a phone call after hours, I'm not going to say I'm not going to do that. What I can say is I will never do anything that would take away from my duties or responsibilities at the probate court. I'm not going to do anything that would interfere with my full-time job, which would be being the probate court.
well, Mr. Teague, we know, and I talked to you last night, I know you have to be somewhere in short order here. So in wrapping up, our goal today is just to have this one opportunity. We're going to cut this little segment here, and we're going to put up just an opportunity to meet candidates. And it will be on FetcherNews.com here later this afternoon. And you'll have all week to get a little closer with these candidates and get to know them. Any last things today as far as you would like to convey to the voters out there on the reason they should pull the lever for Josh Teague on the 24th?
There's one more thing I'd like to address, one more thing I'd like to try to clear the air on, which is the issue of conflicts, which has been brought up lately, and I've had a couple people address that with me. And it's another thing I think there's kind of a misunderstanding about. You know, there's no part of being an attorney or nothing special about being an attorney that could cause a conflict for a judge. So when there's a conflict in front of a judge, that conflict is caused by one of two things, either a relationship or knowledge. So either you have some relationship with this person or party that's in front of you, or you have some special knowledge about the issue or the party that's coming in front of you. And that applies to all four of the candidates in this race. You have relationships with clients, because I'm an attorney. If you own a business, you have a relationship with your customers. If somebody's paying you and they appear in your court, it can look improper for you to hear that case. If someone has paid you in the past and they appear in your court, it can look improper. If you work somewhere, even if that person isn't paying you directly, but they're a client of the business you work for, or the office you work for, again, you may have some special knowledge about them or a case they were involved in or an issue they were involved in. That causes a conflict. You have conflicts with people that you go to church with. You have conflicts with family members. If you're in clubs, people that are in your clubs, people you just know out in the community. if you and I are going in front of a judge, Brian, and I go to church with the judge and we're having a contested case, you're not going to feel real good about the judge making a decision and ruling in my favor knowing I go see the guy every Sunday. It doesn't look right. So there are a lot of issues that can come up that can cause a conflict. And I really don't think this is anything that someone should base their vote on, because everybody's going to have a conflict. It's impossible to have a judge who doesn't, and it's impossible to say one person's going to have more or less conflicts. Conflicts are just based off your relationships with people, and everybody has those relationships.
You know, the good part of that is we still live in rural counties where conflict in some ways is very good to where we live because of the problem we have. We go to Ingalls and we still say hello to half a dozen people before we can get out of the store because we know each other. And that is the joy of living in the rural counties. But on the judge's side, it's thoroughly understand. It is a struggle for anybody that would be in the offices not to have some people relationships, business with, whatever. So I think I understand what you're saying on that. I have people say to me, you know everybody. I said, no, I don't know everybody, but I know everybody. But it's just like, but I appreciate that. One last word, anything before you run over to where you got to go this morning?
Yeah, well, just thank you for having me on, Brian. I encourage everybody to look at the candidate's education, look at the candidate's experience, listen to what we've had to say, watch the debate that Brian put on with Fetcher News, watch the clips from the forums we've had. I've been involved in the law since I was 17 years old. I feel like I'm the most experienced candidate in this race. Been with 2 Superior Court judges, U.S. Attorney's Office, practiced law for myself for over 5 years. And I'll bring my dedication, I'll bring my experience to serve the people of Gilmer County, because I feel like that's what we need and that's what I'm here to do.
Mr. Teague, I will tell you this, I do pick up the passion from you. So, Josh Teague, I appreciate it. This has been, we've had Josh Teague, Gilmer County probate judge candidate, here with us this morning. And don't forget, this Saturday, early voting has started, but this Saturday is Saturday voting in Georgia. And then May 24th is actually primary day. And you will be able to see this clip and share it all around Facebook here, maybe 3 or 4 this afternoon, but definitely sometime tomorrow for the next week to get to know these candidates. Again, thank you very much for coming in,
Thank you, Brian.
Teague. Lonnie, take us to break. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Better days ahead. Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Safe big on service at Schadenkerk. Get a full-service oil change for only $29.99. That's right. Get an oil and filter change, tire rotation, brake check, AC check, and multi-point inspection, all for just $29.99.
Give us a shot at Schadenkerk.
Get the $29.99 oil change special at Schadenkerk Ford or any of our convenient locations in the heart of Georgia.
As Bentley says, give us a shot at Schadenkerk.
Online at SchadenkerkAtlanta.com.
We are 5 days. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. What you did not realize that day when President Obama said that he was going to begin a social experiment on our military, a social experiment on our country, a social experiment on our bathrooms, our schools, our children, a total social experiment in Ferguson, just completely transformed. You know, the word trans, you need to catch on to that. Now, I got a couple minutes here. My next guest, Susan Keener, for Gilmer County Probate Court. We'll have her in here at 9:05 like we have scheduled. So I got a couple minutes. I want to continue on. Don't forget, Fannin County Board of Education meeting has been moved to the Fannin County High School cafeteria. The time is the same. Just an update if you just joined us. The time is the same, 4:30 for the board training session, 6 o'clock for the regular meeting. Fannin County High School cafeteria. They are asking you to park on the stadium side of the cafeteria. The side door will be open to enter. They're asking you, please do not park in the Performing Arts Center parking lot because they're going to be having a scholarship program tonight. So please do not park there. Park on the stadium side. We also understand at 5 o'clock, we're going to call it peaceful protest. Peaceful protesters will be gathering at First Baptist Church to march in solidarity to the Board of Education meeting to oppose Fannin County's decision to uphold, make the decision they've made to allow transgender students to use any restroom they choose in Fannin County schools. Now, that being said, there's a lot of discussion about the $3.5 million in federal money that the school could lose. Anthony Walden was quoted, by saying, I don't have the quote up, but he was quoted by saying, and he is a school resource officer, and most of the people up there are tired of hearing that the children are only worth $3.5 million, and that's the real issue here is the loss of money. And I'm telling you, folks, that is the real issue with people. They have had it. I did a monologue yesterday with ending the Department of Education. Now, what I did earlier is I started talking about County Attorney Lynn Doss, why she did not preempt this, because this has been going on for a while in the school. Sources tell FetcherNews.com. This didn't just happen last week. She is asking you to call your local elected officials, like they have done so well for us here up to date, right? Like they are really doing great things through the Barack Obama social experiment of his administration on each and every one of us. We have a Justice Department down in North Carolina trying to make a decision. Now, I've gotten stuck on this, but Lynn Doss wrote, the separation of church and state, that is the bedrock of our great nation. The issue of who can go into which restroom legally is truly a legal issue. That one has hit me so bad. I did not know my whole entire life that I was making a legal decision to go to the bathroom. I swear to God, you might be saying that I'm taking it out of context. The other thing, it just hit me. Just, you know, I do not like when somebody says, especially Lynn Doss says, the separation of church and state. The founding fathers never intended for the separation of church and state to be used in this context. And she knows that, and you know that out there. And I am just not okay with her 3-page letter she puts up explaining. Then she says, contact the individuals that we have elected to address and make laws for us. Now, I'm going to say this. I told you earlier, I'm not going to tell you not to vote for these people. There's only one person I've told you not to vote for. Because here at FetchYourNews.com, BKP, I do not endorse candidates. I do not endorse any candidates. But I thought the other day, maybe I could say who not to vote for. So I made a decision to tell you, do not vote for Johnny Isakson. Do not, okay? He will not debate his primary opponents. He will not come out and talk to the citizens of Georgia. He feels he has a crown. In fact, do a little Photoshop there. Find a picture of him and put a crown on Johnny. Because he thinks he's King Johnny in Georgia, and he doesn't have to answer to you, the voters. He does not have to participate in the primary. He does not have to stand on the stage with Dr. Mary Kay Beckley Y'all. He does not have to stand on the stage with Derek Grayson. He doesn't have to stand on the stage. He's wearing a crown. Do not vote for Johnny Isakson. Johnny Isakson, if you feel, let me ask the county attorney, Lynn Doss, a question. If you keep up with anything, do you not realize that Johnny has voted for all of these Department of Education bills like No Child Left Behind, No Child Left Behind, Race to the Top, all of these bright ideals that brought in Common Core that Johnny's voted for, is supporting them, and then you're asking people to call him like he cares. So I'm not telling you not to vote for these candidates, but I'm going to change the sentence. And instead of saying contact the individuals we have elected to address and make laws for us, I'm going to rewrite it and say, I'm telling you to contact the individuals who have already betrayed you to this point. That's what they are. They're the individuals that have betrayed you. Well, I really like David Perdue. I like Senator David Perdue also. But they have known. See, the Republicans have had Congress. They have had the Senate. They have, Republicans, they're the fault. Let's stay in Georgia. I'm going to take a 2-minute break, but let's stay in Georgia for a minute. Republicans have the Georgia State Senate. The Republicans have the Georgia House of Representatives. The Republicans, which he's pretending to be a Republican, Governor Nathan Deal. Nathan Deal, a Republican, the governor of Georgia. Republicans have the House of Representatives. The delegation from Georgia of the House of Representatives is majority Republican, all the Congress. Republicans have the Senate. And the Republicans are trying to figure, and we're trying to figure out if we can legally how to use bathrooms. And the Republicans are in charge. Who would you get if you can't get them to do what they're supposed to do? We're going to take a brief break. We're running just a minute behind. When we come back, we're going to be talking to our second candidate. Between now and Election Day, May 24th, we're going to have all kinds of candidates in here and just give them an opportunity to ask for your vote if you haven't had a chance to meet them up to this point. Lonnie, take us to break. When we come back, we'll have Gilmer probate candidate judge for Judge Susan Keener in here with us. Lonnie, take us to break.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Better days ahead. Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Save big on service at Schadenkirk. Get a full service oil change for only $29.99. That's right. Get an oil and filter change, tire rotation, brake check, AC check, and multi-point inspection, all for just $29.99.
Give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Get the $29.99 oil change special at Schadenkirk Ford or any of our convenient locations in the heart of Georgia.
As Bentley says, give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Online at SchadenkirkAtlanta.com. And we're back on BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And what we're doing from now until Election Day is we're trying to get give you an opportunity to meet as many candidates. You may have gone to forums, seen many things on FetcherNews.com or other media outlets concerning candidates. But we're trying to, in the next week, get one more opportunity for you to meet and get to know some of the candidates. I have with me now for the next couple minutes Gilmer County probate judge candidate Susan Keener. Susan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
Well, how do you like this campaigning stuff?
It's been informative, interesting, and quite an experience.
Well, I know the four candidates at this time have never run for an office, so this is equal playing ground for everybody as far as campaigning. Now, give us a little bit of your background, where you did work, what some of your experience is, and some of the reasons why you made a decision to run for Gilmer County probate judge.
Okay. I have worked with the District Attorney's Office for the past 8.5 years. I've had public administrative experience as park director for Gilmer County. Been in the legal field for over 15 years, and my father was an attorney, so that's how I got into it. I love the law. I enjoy working. I enjoy helping people, and the probate court judge position just seemed like a good fit.
So now, you know, many people basically, and see how I put this, Judge Anita Mullins is retiring, and I know that Judge Anita Mullins is retiring, and a lot of candidates were kind of waiting for her to retire, to get into the race. You currently work in the DA's office, District Attorney's office. You have a background of looking at legal issues. So what experiences do you have that you feel would lead to you making a good probate judge for the citizens of Gilmer County?
Well, I am familiar with both criminal and civil law. I've worked for civil attorneys. familiar with the responsibilities and the duties of the probate court as far as the administration of estates, the probate of wills, issuing the weapons carry permits. You know, I'm familiar with background investigations, GCIC, the misdemeanor traffic offenses. So with my work in the district attorney's office, I'm familiar with the actual statutes for, say, DUIs or you know, when they're transferred from probate court and they come to the DA's office, that's when the district attorney's office will pick that up. And so I've had the opportunity to at least read the statutorial laws whenever accusations are drafted regarding DUIs or just failure to stop, just misdemeanor traffic.
So you are familiar with the kind of cases, you have seen the kind of cases that go to probate, yes, that come through the DA's office. So yes, you're familiar with the kind of cases you would see. Yes. This would not be new to you as far as what to expect or what kind of cases you would see in the probate court.
No, the only newness is going to be presiding over those cases, and of course none of us have done that. And you know, I realize we have, I believe you said 40 hours of training, so.
Now, do you feel the training, have you looked at the training, do you feel the 40 hours of training and your experience, and my word, it maybe is an adequate enough information for you to be the judge? Do you feel good about that?
I would just say that's a start, but I would say that I have my homework to do. I have a lot of research. I have a lot of visiting with other probate judges. And, you know, I think that there's a lot to learn between now and if I get elected as probate judge. So should I get elected, I'm assuming that there will probably be a runoff with the 4 candidates. Should I get elected, I will start then doing my research, doing my, you know, the reading, the probate court handbook, just all that I can to be prepared if I take office on January 1st.
Well, you know, I think some of the misunderstanding or the perception is that the judge, and you know, I'm not trying to talk about understanding how things work within the courts, but I think there's a misunderstanding that the judge will know every answer at all times and be able to make a determination, and there should be this great knowledge that you should have, when in fact it's not uncommon for judges throughout the state to counsel with other judges on a case. So, you know, we watch TV and we think the judge answers right then, hits a gavel and says, I rule in favor of this and that. Judges defer to 30 days all the time for decision, or defer to decision, or send you a decision. And during that time, it's not uncommon that they may counsel with other judges or other people within the judicial circuit concerning the case. Is that something you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I've been that way in every job I've ever performed. I've always believed that there needed to be a mentor or someone you know who has more experience than you do. But, you know, sometimes 2 heads are better than one, and to be able to kick it around or find that particular answer. But yes, I do believe research is necessary. And if that comes in the form of going to another judge or whatever the case may be, I want to get the correct answer. I want to do the right thing. So,
well, you know, another thing is people are thinking it's the probate judge and it's one person. Actually, the probate judge is a probate judge office. There are services that are provided to the citizens that are not in the courtroom. There are services that are provided to the citizens. There's a staff in there. So how do you feel, have you looked at the actual office overall, the staff? How do you feel you would do managing a staff of people through that and the services you have to provide the citizens?
Okay, well, I have managed staff before. Like I said, I was the park director, and we didn't have a large staff, but neither does the probate court. So I'm familiar with county government. I'm familiar with budgeting. And I'm familiar with probate court because I've been in the courthouse, you know, and I've actually worked for a civil attorney where we had to file in probate, to probate cases. But anyway, I'm aware of some of the issues and concerns that are going on in the court or in the probate court. I think it's important that the staff is well trained. I'm concerned about the budget. I'm concerned about salaries. I want to make sure that the operations and the management of the probate court is done effectively and efficiently. And that is my goal, should I get in.
Well, let me ask you this. As far as the staff and the court, and I say that there's a lot of people, we just talk about probate judge, but it's actually an office that provides the weapons license and marriage license and so on and so forth. I think one of the biggest questions, and I think the reason it has come up, is because of attorneys could continue to practice law and be the probate judge. And I think what's misunderstood, and some people might think, well, I don't understand what's the big deal, but you have made a commitment to be a full-time, you have no outside interest or other activities that would prohibit you from being dedicated to the position of probate judge full-time for the citizens.
This is correct.
Because, some of the candidates are attorneys, and one of the candidates owns a business, but there would be no outside things that would take you away from being a full-time judge.
There would be none. I'm totally committed. At this time, I am currently on a leave of absence, so I can pursue this campaign. And it's an unpaid leave of absence, so it's been quite a trip. But I'm dedicated and I'm committed, and I feel like this is where God intends me to be. And should I not get elected as probate judge, there's a reason. There's a reason for this, and so it's in God's hands at this point to me.
Well, I think that was very well put. You're currently taking an unpaid leave of absence. And I think that in itself shows your interest for the job and shows your dedication and your commitment to to the people, is that you would go through this personally to try to get the job. So, well, you know what? Campaigning. Now, see, I enjoy elections, but then I'm not the one out there campaigning and asking for votes and going to all these forums. So, in fairness, you guys might think that I enjoy them too much or something.
Well, no, I've got to admit, it's been pretty busy, but honestly, I've had the time of my life. I have learned so much, especially in the political arena. So this is, if anything, it's been an eye-opener, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, it's politics. Somebody called me last night, and and was telling me something, and not in the probate race, but somebody was telling me something in another race, and said, could I believe that was happening? And I said, it's politics. I will say, when I started several years ago, some things, I guess, would shock me, but I have gotten past that point. Nothing shocks me at all when it comes to campaigning and politics.
I'm learning that. I am.
It's not to get shocked, right?
No, absolutely.
Now, you're from Gilmer County.
I am.
So, like everybody else, and I say this jokingly to all the candidates, the conflict, when you live in a rural county, the conflict that would come up is, I was telling another candidate earlier this morning, we're still fortunate enough we live in a county where we bump into people at the grocery store and we see people at the bank and wherever we go that we know, and family members. And for some of you that don't understand it, we'll just have to send you a dictionary. You got kin, kinfolk, right?
Absolutely.
So, but you will have a thorough understanding through the training what conflicts would come before you through the courts.
Absolutely.
And everything like that. Anything you would like to say to the voters this morning that says, hey, vote for me? Was there any message that you would like to get out this morning?
Well, there is. I would like to reiterate my qualifications for a probate judge. I've already mentioned that I've worked in the legal field for over 15 years. I have worked, my work history for the past 30 years has been about helping people. That is who I am. That's what I'm about. And that's why I believe it's also important to become the probate judge. And what I've learned through my work history, I want to give back to the community. I've got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, the experience in both criminal and civil law. I am an Army vet. I worked in military intelligence. I served in Augsburg, Germany in a tactical unit, no doubt. And that was an experience. I worked in public administration. So, you know, the job or the responsibilities of the probate judge are, you know, it's judicial, but it's also administrative. And I feel like I could do some good in the probate court. So I would appreciate your vote on May 24th, or with early voting going on now. But I appreciate you having me here and being able to tell the people what my qualifications are. And hope I can be the next probate judge.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Keener. And I hope you will, through campaigning and the first time doing this, I hope you could understand and tell people that our goal here at FetchYourNews.com is only to get people the most information. And we try to do that. We try to hold the debate. You can watch that on FetchYourNews.com to meet these candidates. And we try to do everything in the world to get the information out. And we thank you for coming in.
I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Well, thank you very much.
To let you know, all the feedback I get on Fetch Your News is wonderful. So you're doing a great job, and continue doing it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Keener. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
And what we
Ron.
always tell everybody, all the candidates, we wish you well, and we thank you for your willingness to serve. I'm BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And we have been talking with candidate for Gilmer County Probate Judge Susan Keener. Now, don't forget, early voting has started. And this Saturday is Georgia's voting day. You can vote this Saturday. And then the actual primary day is May 24th. And we're going to continue every day between now and May 24th to try to have some candidates come on and be with us just to get an opportunity for you to meet them and ask for your vote. So again, we've had Susan Keener, Gilmer County Probate Judge candidate, and we're going to take a brief break. We're going to hear from another candidate that has a message for you, and then we're going to have a couple commercials. And I want to tell you, when we get back, George won't be with us this morning because of our schedule. When we get back, I'm going to do about 20 minutes and wrap up the Fannin County transgender bathroom. We're going to have about a full 20 minutes on that, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Lonnie, take us to break.
My name is John Williamson, and I'm running as a candidate for the Georgia Senate in the 51st District, which includes the counties of Gilmer, Fannin, Union, White, Dawson, Lumpkin, and parts of Pickens and Forsyth counties. I'm a 34-year resident in Gilmer County. I've been married 40 years, have 6 children and 16 grandchildren. My serious interest in politics started several years ago with the co-creation of the local Tea Party of Gilmer County. And I've been attending the Board of Commissioners and Board of Education meetings, so I have an idea of the challenges that we face in rural Georgia. I want to talk to you today about my reasons for running for office. My first reason stems from my belief in the Republican values, the underlying Republican values that we all seem to ascribe to, which is low taxes, small government, fiscal responsibility. I have watched our incumbent, Senator Gooch, and the legislature in Georgia violate these principles over the last 6 years. Our senator ran on this platform that I just described 6 years ago. It has never been challenged, but last year he supported and led the largest tax increase in the state of Georgia. The second reason that I'm running is to provide better representation for our 51st District citizens regarding especially taxation and regulation. I want to use 3 illustrations of how our taxes have been increased effectively in the last few years. The first is the sales tax on our private sales of automobiles. How many of you have sold your automobiles to friends and family over the years, and now you have to pay a tax, 7% every time you do this? The second is the 20% tax penalty that we're paying to get our money back for road projects because we did not vote for the T-Splosh. That cost our county recently $100,000 just to get a road grant back. And third, we have the unfair $5 a night tax on hotels and motels, which is a real hurt to our industry, which really lives on tourism in many of our counties. Well, the third reason is, I promise, transparency and the willingness to admit mistakes in judgment. For instance, I have been interpreted that some of my comments, I guess my opponents have been wrong. For that, I apologize. On the other hand, has our senator ever admitted that perhaps the T-Splosh penalty was a poor idea? What about voting to prevent Georgians from obtaining eyeglasses over the internet? Did this serve his constituents' interests? Could it possibly be related to a campaign contribution by the Georgia Eyeglass Association? What about the need to license lactation consultants? Does grandma really need a license to teach her granddaughter to breastfeed? Aren't you offended when the politicians come back to the districts during elections with checks, road grants, and grants in their hand, posing for photographs? That's what they're supposed to be doing. That's why we elected them. That's their job. And second, that's our money they're bringing back to us. That's our money. Don't be fooled. Now, I have a vision for Georgia that includes solutions to some of our most pressing statewide problems. I want to leave the state in better shape for our grandchildren and their children. For instance, there are welfare and education reforms that have been demonstrated to work in other states, and we can do it here in Georgia. We also need to stop our state from traveling down the road of fiscal irresponsibility by adding such long-term debt. These are some of the issues I'd like to work on to secure the best future for our families in Georgia. I want to represent you. I'll be open to listening to your concerns and working with you in the Atlanta, Georgia Senate. Please check out my website for other issues that you may have questions about. It's Williamson 2016, and call me anytime. I'm John Williamson, and I'm running for the Senate seat in the 51st District to give you a choice and a voice. If I am your choice, I will be your voice in Atlanta. Please vote on May 24th.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
El Rey and Ella J.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like meat lovers, backyard barbecue chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Good morning from the office. We're back. I'm BKP, and we're going to continue for the next 27 minutes to discuss the great social experiment Barack Obama has thrust our country into in the last 8 years. All right, before we do, we want to thank some more of our sponsors, the 1907 restaurant located off the square in Ellijay, UPS store located in East Ellijay, North Georgia Diamond located in the East Ellijay Walmart Shopping Center, promotional code Fetch Your News, Mattress Overstock, go see Gary, Richard, Rhonda, the Mattress Lady for the best mattress at the best price, located in the East Ellijay Walmart Shopping Center, 706-698-7378, that's Mattress Overstock. FetchYourNews.com, your promotional code, Ellijay Fitness, 379 River Street, Ellijay, 706-636-2348. WebWorks Lawn Care. WebWorks Lawn Care, locally owned, reliable service. Call Justin Webb today. He's ready to work for you. Give him a call at 706-889-4893. That's 706-889-4893, WebWorks Lawn Care. Okay, folks, now we've been talking about, now let me set this back up. Let's keep in mind, the state of North Carolina, why are they all out on their own? Why are they just seem like out there on their own? Why don't we have the Republican House, the Republican Senate? Why do we have a Justice Department going down and trying to take down, shake down, and break the will of the people in North Carolina that elected the governor, that signed the bill concerning the bathrooms to use? Remember, without going into great detail, don't forget the governor signed a bill. Let's get back on the ground here, folks. The governor signed a bill requiring people to use the restroom of the biological gender on their birth certificate. How dare him? That's where we're at. Now, we have the issue in Fannin County, and we're discussing the representation. Now, I want to say this. The county attorney here in this case is trying to convince the public that they can't win. This is not going to go well for me. But you know what? I'm in an I don't care mood. All right? The county attorney is doing everything to try to convince you can't win. You must live with it. It is a legal issue what bathroom you can go in, whether you like it or not. We could lose $3.5 million. You don't understand what that would do to the school system. We have to preserve the level of education for our students. Oh my God, this is what they are trying to promote to you. As I told you yesterday, the county attorney, Lynn Doss, has put a long list of things that you could do on Facebook to help us get through this. Contacted the individuals. I'm going to give you this now. Contact the individuals that we have elected to address and make laws for us in a manner such as this. That would be the individuals elected to represent us. Now, these are my words from here on out. This is not what was written by the county attorney. Let's keep in mind, the House of Representatives are Republicans. The Senate is Republicans. The House, the Georgia State House, Republicans. The Georgia State Senate, Republicans. And the governor of Georgia is a Republican. Now, you were told by them, and I'm going to group them all together, that they shared your values. You were told by them they were the clear, constant conservative, that they were going to protect your freedom of speech, your freedom of religion, your freedoms, your freedoms, your freedoms. You thought what you had to do was go to the ballot box on the 24th and vote them in. That's what you thought. But folks, they have, and they's a big word. Some may not have, but I'm going to read the list anyway. They may have betrayed you. It is time for you to take matters in your own hand and say, we're not going to take it anymore peacefully. Folks, David Perdue is on the list. Senator Johnny Isakson's on the list. Doug Collins is on the list that may have betrayed you. Governor Nathan Deal. Now this one gets me is the attorney Lynn Doss wants me to believe that she does not have Governor Nathan Deal's direct email. But okay, I'll go with that. Why would you tell us to contact Nathan Deal? He's not interested. Why? So Delta could tell Nathan Deal not to get involved, so Home Depot, you're going to act like you don't know this, county attorney? Okay. Sam Owens. Steve Gooch. Really? Why didn't you contact Steve Gooch? Why didn't you contact 6 months ago and say, look, we're going to have to charter through these waters because I am county attorney and my job is to represent this board and to try to keep us out of hot water and not get us into lawsuits. But I'm telling you now, I was born in Fannin County, raised in Fannin County, and the citizens of Fannin County are not going to take well to this. Why not do something in the last session? Why not come up with a North Carolina bill if you knew about it? Sources tell me. Who let you down, folks? Not just in Fannin County, in all of Georgia. Start making a list of who let you down. Sources tell me that the Fannin County transgender issue in the bathrooms is not something that just happened last week. That's what its sources say. Who's letting you down, folks? Why didn't they contact Steve Gooch? Now, I'm going to tell you, let's see who's next. Now, here's the one that gets me. I might throw my damn glasses across the room. The most powerful person in the Georgia House of Representatives, Fannin County's representative. It's like an introduction. Now up. The most powerful person in Georgia House of Representatives is Fannin County's representative, your one, your only, the man of the hour, 7th District, David E. Ralston. Speaker Ralston. Folks, that's what your county attorney wrote. Why didn't your county attorney that has a direct link to the Speaker of the House? All I keep hearing in this election is we have the Speaker of the House. Now, I'm not taking a side. If you out there decide to take a side, that's up to you. I'm not getting in the election. I'm not discussing the candidates. But I pay attention. I'm not under some damn rock. All I keep hearing, I got ads, I got cards in the mail. I listen to Pandora. I listen to this, I listen to that. I look at the billboards. And I hear over and over and over and over, Fannin County has the Speaker of the House. Do you want to lose the Speaker of the House? Tell me that's not all you hear. The risk, if the other candidate was to get elected, the risk you are taking in North Georgia is to lose the Speaker of the House. She writes that here, knowing good well that she has a connection, a direct link to the Speaker of the House. All your county, I'm going to share with you, if you don't know out there, Fannin County, your Fannin County Board of Education attorney has the Speaker of the House cell phone number and can call and say, David, not say Mr. Ralston, say, David, I need you to look at some local legislation to help Fannin County. Folks, you better get a clear, very clear perspective on who's letting you down. Clearly. Why was there not? You have the Speaker of the House. You have a county attorney why was there not some kind of North Carolina bathroom legislation? Why didn't you pick up the phone and say, hey, David? See, legislation just ended 3 weeks ago. The session ended. Yeah, I've been told this. Hey, David, we got an issue. We got an issue up here in Fannin County. We might need to do a gender issue bathroom law like North Carolina. We might want to think about that, because I'm telling you, the citizens of North Georgia are not ready to I got a phone call yesterday I got phone calls from people. Now, I'm telling you, I got phone calls from elected officials yesterday. I got phone calls from moms and dads. I got a phone call from a grandparent in another county. Oh, yeah. This isn't another county. I got a grandparent called me, Said, no, this ain't going to work. I have grandchildren in school. Telling you now. So that's on the list, okay? Let's see, who else could we have on the list? Last but not least, here's a good one. Here's C, because she gave us A, B, and C. Remember that we are blessed. Oh, nothing like being blessed. Remember, we are blessed to live in the wonderful. What the hell is this? Wonderful. Remember, we are blessed to live in this wonderful area of Georgia. And as long as we maintain civility. Did we hire you as the attorney or some counselor? I mean, civility. Civility. As long as we maintain civility and open lines of communication. How about the open lines of communication that you had to Georgia down there under the Gold Dome that you could have been working on this? Lines of communication. There is nothing we can't resolve if we listen and work together. Oh, what an encouraging statement from an attorney. What an encouraging statement. I urge you to contact Senator Perdue, Senator Isaacson, Representative Collins. The mandates of the federal and will be addressed on the federal level with impact on all of us. Like you just found this out. Look, I don't dislike this individual. I don't want that misunderstood. But this just tore into me when I read this last night. This is the county attorney. This is who you hire. You should read this, folks, and come to terms that this is who your tax dollars pay to represent you. This is it right here. So A, pray for wisdom and guidance. Let me tell you something. If you've been praying for wisdom and guidance out there, let me give you a clue. God has answered your prayer. Well, how do I know that? What gives you the right to tell us God has answered your prayer? And how is he answered? You need to be up there today by 30,000. Peaceful. Walls of Jericho. Walls of Jericho. And you need to be peaceful. Okay? And you need to march to that school. And you need to stand in line and tell them that you don't intend for this to be okay. And that you will go to the ballot box on May 21st, and your first order of business will be to dismiss everyone that betrayed you. And your second order of business will be to remove the people that don't defend your rights. You understand what I'm hearing right now? And I do want to say this, because I know I sound angry, and I know I sound upset, and I know I sound very passionate. Even the children that are identifying as transgender today are just that. They're children. So we don't want any children harmed. We don't want any children just mistreated. You understand that? We don't want any children singled out. You have not heard that here on Fetcher News, and you will not. I've heard some other newscasts. There has been comments. If you go to Fetcher News right now and you read about 30 comments, and some of them took an hour to write, they're so long. If you read the comments on FetcherNews.com, if you read 30, I'm going to let you know there was 60. And several we could not post. We had to delete. So we have not published any names. We have not discussed any students. We have not discussed any teachers. We have not discussed any personnel. The only personnel we have discussed is Superintendent of Schools, Mark Henson. Told you yesterday, I'm going to end today by telling you he's a good man. Mark Henson's a good man. Okay? He is somewhere today I don't want to be. And that's why I want him treated with respect. I want the board treated with respect. But I want you to let them know that you're not going to accept the position they're taking. That you can do in a peaceful manner. That you could do in a polite way. No kicking, no screaming. So we've not put any names up. This is a public person. Lynn Doss is the county attorney. She chose to go on here and write her statement of separation in church and state as the bedrock of this great nation, and decided to tell you that bathrooms, throughout our nation's history, there have been landmark decisions. The issue of who can go into which bathroom legally is truly a legal decision. You didn't know that today. So anyhow, I'm going to wrap that up. We'll be up there this afternoon. We'll have 3 reporters in 3 different areas. You can go to fetchernews.com and watch it live. We will have cameras there, reporters there. We will document this thing all the way through, and we encourage you to do that again. Lonnie, are you trying to get me for something? Huh? Also, it is Tuesday, so that means Inspirational Moments by our good friend Colonel Oscar Poole is coming up.
You were almost right. It's Thursday. But yes. Oscar.
Is it Thursday?
It's Thursday. It is Thursday. Drink a little more Spark. You've got a big day ahead of you.
I got to get another Spark going. Anyhow, today, Thursday, thank you, Lonnie, is Inspirational Moments by our dear friend Oscar Poole. And don't forget also, today, stay tuned. After that, we will have North Georgia's only live online morning newscast with Kevin Hensley, the Morning Report. Stay tuned for the Morning Report. And don't forget, if you want to contact me, our phone does not go off at 10 o'clock when the show goes off. Our number is 706-889-9700. You want to call, you want to talk to me. I have several people that have off the record that I haven't mentioned. So if you want to get in touch with me, 706-889-9700. You want to send me emails concerning anything, that is chief@fetchernews.com. And also, if you have any news you would like for us to report here, North Georgia's only live online morning newscast, Kevin Hensley, the Morning Report, coming up. Hey, I told you earlier, let me look around. Now, let me tell you, May 23rd is Candidate Day here at FetcherNews.com. And let me tell you what we have done, and I will tell you who has confirmed. And yesterday I confirmed, I just sent this out yesterday, so a lot of candidates have not had time to confirm. But on May 23rd, we're going to allow these candidates to ask for your vote. Just like this morning, these candidates here, we didn't put a lot of pressure on them. We let them ask for your vote. So we will have Candidate Day on May 23rd. And we will have 9th Congressional District candidates. We've invited Mike Scupine, Roger Fitzpatrick, Paul Brown. Now, they will all be calling in, but we've allowed all of them 15 minutes. So Mike Scupine, Roger Fitzpatrick, Paul Brown, Doug Collins, Bernie Fontaine have all been invited. Right now, we have Roger Fitzpatrick, Mike Scupine, and Paul Brown and Bernie Fontaine have all confirmed. We're just waiting for Congressman Collins. We gave them a time slot so they know what time. So we're waiting for Congressman Collins to confirm, and that's the 9th District. Now, on the 51st District State Senate candidates, State Senator Steve Gooch and John Williamson. John Williamson has confirmed. We're waiting for Steve Gooch to confirm, and he is confirmed. And again, these are not hardcore question and answer sessions. They are the candidates getting an opportunity to ask for your vote. 7th District State Representatives Sam Snyder and David Ralston have been invited, and at this time, Sam Snyder has confirmed. So we're still waiting for Congressman Doug Collins, Senator Steve Gooch, and David Ralston to confirm our Candidate Day on May, right? I don't know the day, I don't know the month. It's May, right? Holy mackerel, Batman. All right, May 23rd, December. I was waiting for Christmas, December 23rd. Boy, I tell you what, 2 days before Christmas, right, Lonnie?
Holy
All
roasted
right.
peanuts, Batman. You need to get your stuff together.
I agree with that. So, don't forget, before we leave, Hillary Clinton says that she is in, all of her staff, Blumenthal, everybody says that they are in a security inquiry. And they're inquiring into some security issues. That's it. The FBI is in the middle of an inquiry. Well, the FBI let everybody know yesterday they don't do inquiries. When the FBI, it's an investigation. The head of the FBI let everybody know yesterday Hillary is not going through a security inquiry. Blumenthal is not going through any inquiry. It's an investigation. Blumenthal will not answer whether he has met with the FBI or not, meaning he probably has. So that is an investigation into Hillary Clinton. So the Democrats are packing the parachute now, wondering who they need to strap it on their back to parachute in to take over for Hillary. It won't be Bernie Sanders. And last but not least, Mr. Trump meet the GOP Republican. Donald Trump begins meetings with House Speaker Ryan and Republican congressional leaders. Trump does not need any of them to win. He can win without them. Trump is telling them what the deal is this morning, how they can all come out on top and make things right, because all Trump has to do is, the only thing Trump has to do is come out and say they can't work anything out. And possibly Paul Ryan could lose his job if that campaign starts tomorrow. So I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. Stay tuned for Oscar inspirational moments and then some brief messages. And then Kevin Hensley, the morning report. Lonnie, take us out of here.
Welcome to Spotlight USA and the Oscar Poole Show. Listen now as Oscar brings hope and inspiration to the lives of everyday Americans. The program is produced in the studios of WMCW 97.7 FM in Astor. Heard on AstorCommunityRadio.us and FetchYourNews.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Oscar Poole in the studios of WMCW-FM in Astor, Florida, and also on FYN-TV in Ellijay, Georgia, 75 miles north of Atlanta in the North Georgia mountains. Are you living from crisis to crisis, from problem to problem, or are you living from success to success? Are you living from crisis to crisis? Are you problem-oriented? Do you attract problems? You know, I think people who live from problems to problems, or from paycheck to paycheck, just barely getting by, invite the problems by the emanations they give off. Or are you living from success to success? Well, what is success? Well, Robert Schuller, years ago, deceased now, said that success was the achievement of a goal. Have you achieved a goal? Then you might achieve another goal and another goal. From peak to peak, he called it, or from mountaintop to mountaintop, or, as I've said this morning, from success to success. You hang around goal-oriented people, associate with them, become a visionary, conceive in your mind what you can believe in your heart and what you can do. Become an achiever. Choose the goals every day. Break it down into small segments. Now, those who have no goal, that itself is a goal. To have, I repeat, to have no goal is a goal. To have no goal is to achieve it. A person with no goal, loafer, just drifting around, will achieve that. For example, a person starting out on a minimum wage salary, that kind of person will end up at age 60, 65, 70 with a minimum salary. Now, of course, if you're a senior citizen and you just want a part-time job, that's all right. Of course it is. Well, do you have goals in your life? What are they? Do you have a big overriding goal? Then break it down into small goals. For example, high school. Some of you have a goal to finish high school. How about college? I hear someone saying, I want to go to college. How about graduate school? How about learning a trade? How about building or buying a house or a car? Or preparing yourself for a job or marriage? Well, I must go now, but are you living from crisis to crisis? Or from peak to peak, from success to success? Oscar Poole speaking. Peace I leave with you and always. And until next time, have a good day.
You've been listening to Oscar Poole, America's Voice of Reason and Hope. Tune in the same time next week on WMCW 97.7 Eastern Time. The program is heard globally on the internet on AstorCommunityRadio.us and from East LJ, Georgia on FetcherNews.com.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Better days ahead.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Save big on service at Schadenkirk. Get a full service oil change for only $29.99. That's right. Get an oil and filter change, tire rotation, brake check, AC check, and multi-point inspection, all for just $29.99.
Give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Get the $29.99 oil change special at Schadenkirk Ford or any of our convenient locations in the heart of Georgia.
As Bentley says, give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Online at SchadenkirkAtlanta.com.
Collins can't defend his own record. What does he do? He tries to divert our attention from his record, and he's diverting it onto Paul Brown. He is refusing to stand up and talk to us about his record. He wants to talk to us about Windstream. Any congressman that's sitting up there is going to try to help the people with their issues with Windstream. Any congressman sitting up there is going to try to help their people when the Corps of Engineers changes the rules on pulling water out to water your grass. Any congressman will do that. But will any congressman go up there and vote against omnibus bill? Will any congressman go up there and stand for the 9th District instead of standing for Washington? Will any congressman go up there and tell Washington what the 9th District wants instead of coming back here and telling us why Washington has to have his way? I'll tell you, no, not just any congressman will. Let Doug Collins come back and sit down and get out of our hair.
This is Mike Scoopine, and I approve this message.
Paid by Scoopine for Congress.
Trust. Round here, we trust people who get things done. Like our state representative, David Ralston. He's cut taxes and balanced the state budget every year. And Ralston delivers. New roads, new jobs, a new university, and the toughest immigration laws in America. Those Washington guys talk big, but never deliver. Round here, we trust David Ralston. Ralston gets it done.
Doug Collins has been a bad representative for the 9th District.
How bad is it?
Doug is such a bad representative that he won't even represent himself against his challengers for the 9th District seat. Well, that's pretty easy to understand. After all, showing up to defend a record like Doug's is a pretty tall order. Since taking office, Doug has voted with the House leadership over 90% of the time. Doug voted for Boehner for Speaker twice. He voted to spy on you, to bail out Wall Street banks in advance of the next crisis, to train Islamic radicals to take down foreign governments that pose no threat. Doug voted for the Cromnibus, the Omnibus, voted to fund every Title X Planned Parenthood appropriation, and then has the nerve to try to sell you that he did not vote to fund abortion. If you want a representative who will work tirelessly to undo every wrong Doug Collins has done against the will of the 9th District, vote for Mike Scoopine, a proven leader protecting the U.S. Constitution.
It's Mike Scoopine, and I approve this message.
Paid by Scoopine for Congress.
In 2015, our Gilmer County Probate Court heard over 1,300 criminal cases, 250 estate and guardianship matters, and probate administered 110 plus wills. Those are very serious issues, and experience matters. We talked about the fact that every county with more than 96,000 people has a licensed attorney as their probate judge. The state requires it. They don't hear different cases. They don't hear different matters, and I don't believe that the due process you receive when you go to the probate court should be based off the county you live in. You want to have a judge who's been there, who's been on the other side of the bench, who's argued that, who knows it, and who can help you. Because compassion isn't always just about being able to listen, but it's being able to do something when you do listen. Experience matters, and I will use my experience in my private practice, in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and in 2 judges' chambers for the people of Gilmer County.
After winning a lawsuit against the city of Cumming, Nydia Tisdale now focuses on taking down Dawson County. A pair of drug arrests have taken place in Pickens County over the past 2 days. A plethora of updates from Fenton County government meetings are also coming your way on this edition of the Morning Report. Good morning. Today is Thursday, May the 12th, 2016. I'm your anchor, Kevin Hensley. If you have any breaking news tips to send to us while we are on the air, our email address here at the Morning Report is show@fetchyournews.com. Well, who says you can't beat City Hall? 14 months after she won a $200,000 settlement in a federal lawsuit against the city of Cumming, Nydia Tisdale is now suing Dawson County. At a press conference held Tuesday outside the federal courthouse in Gainesville, Tisdale announced that her attorneys have filed a federal lawsuit claiming 3 Dawson County Sheriff's deputies violated her constitutional rights when they arrested her at a political rally at Burt's Pumpkin Farm 2 years ago. The lawsuit alleges that Captain Tony Wooten, Corporal Russell Smith, and Corporal Laura Bishop violated her First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment rights when they arrested her. But this time, Tisdale faces multiple felony and misdemeanor charges for that arrest. She was indicted on the charges in November and pleaded not guilty to all of the counts in March. A Pickens County deputy noticed some suspicious activity leading to a drug and gun arrest. On Tuesday around 4 p.m., Pickens County Deputy Tucker was returning to headquarters from apprehending a fleeing felon that he had to chase on foot and deploy his K-9 partner Flash. He noticed 2 suspicious people looking into the windows of a camper in the area of Refuge and Parker Road. Deputy Tucker then stopped to investigate, and one individual gave him a false name using the name of an individual that Tucker knew well. Deputy Tucker then ran a check on the motorcycle that the suspect was driving, and it was revealed that it was stolen. After a brief altercation where no one was injured, the suspects were detained. A search of the suspects and the motorcycle yielded close to 100 grams of methamphetamine, a loaded handgun, and over $4,500 in cash. The suspects were later identified as Mason Pittman and Richard Yaney. Both suspects were placed under arrest and transported to the Pickens County Adult Detention Center. Then the sheriff's office made another arrest for drugs yesterday after a report was called in of a speeding motorist. Following up on a lookout for the speeding motorist, Sergeant Travis Curran found the vehicle and made a traffic stop after noticing the registration was expired. The driver then gave Sergeant Curran consent to check the vehicle, and methamphetamine and paraphernalia were found, leading to the arrest of Matthew Perrick from Atlanta. Well, a Dawsonville man who tried to swim away from authorities after crashing his vehicle on Georgia 400 Monday is being held on a $3,140 bond in Forsyth County. 24-year-old Tyler O'Donnell ran his 2002 Dodge Dakota off the road at the Georgia 400 bridge between Bald Ridge Marina and Pilgrim Mill Roads. But his plunge into Lake Lanier in an effort to elude police was unsuccessful. Forsyth County deputies on a nearby boat followed him to a small peninsula and then took him into custody. O'Donnell, who has been charged with hit and run, failure to notify the owner upon striking a fixture, driving while license is suspended or revoked, and failure to maintain lane. And this is not his first brush with the law. He has an extensive criminal history that includes theft, burglary, and drug-related charges. The Georgia State Patrol is currently handling the investigation. A look now at our local weather. This morning we are currently starting out at 75 degrees here at the Fetch Your News studios. And while you might see a few showers later this evening, most of the morning will hold sunshine with clouds rolling over into the afternoon. We could see the sunshine return over the weekend, but the rain is only taking the weekend off, as we'll see it come back next Monday. Also on today's show, we will bring you some election updates, spring football updates from both Gilmer and Pickens County, plus we will spotlight our Pet of the Week from the Gilmer County Animal Shelter. Coming up after the break, a new scam alert out of Gilmer County, plus West Fannin Elementary School recognizes its final Students of the Month for 2016, and we have much more news from around our community. Stay tuned, you're watching The Morning Report.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like meat lovers, backyard barbecue chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Welcome back to North Georgia's only live online morning news show, The Morning Report. I'm Kevin Hensley. The Gilmer County Chamber of Commerce has recently become aware that residents and businesses of neighboring communities have fallen victim to a new phone scam targeting utility customers, specifically electric utility customers. It is believed that if Gilmer Countyans are not already being targeted, that they will be very soon. Individuals will call residents and businesses identifying themselves as representatives of a local power company, saying that if the customer has a past due bill, their services will be cut off immediately if payment is not made over the phone right then and there via debit or credit card. The representatives of Georgia Power have reached out to us and informed us that the scammers are very convincing. However, Georgia Power will never call and require payment over the phone in such a manner. Now, if you suspect that a phone call that you're getting from your power company is fraudulent, you are encouraged to immediately hang up and call the power company back directly or visit their local location. Georgia Power can be reached at 1-888-660-5890, or Amiclola EMC can be reached at 706-276-2362. West Fadden Elementary School students in 1st and 2nd grade held a career day on May 2nd. Guest speakers for 2nd grade were Dr. Jennifer Jabali and Jennifer Danner. Dr. Jabali spoke to the students about being an optometrist as well as an author. Jennifer Danner spoke to the students about visual arts careers, including painting and photography. Guest speakers for the 1st graders were Captain Scott Lewis, Dr. Deanna Bellew, and Brent Jones. Captain Lewis spoke to the students about being a fireman and included fire safety. Dr. Bellew spoke with the students about being a veterinarian, while Brent Jones spoke with the students about transportation careers, and he brought a tow truck for the students to look at. Everyone did a wonderful job, and the students had a great time. Pictured in this photo are the April winners from the West Fadden Elementary School Students of the Month program. Students are nominated based on work effort, completion of assignments, regular school attendance, behavior, and character. In the front row, left to right, are Carly Cruz, Will Jones, and Lexi Cook. In the back row, left to right, are Baylor Twiggs, Macy Hawkins, and Hayden Danner. Each student received a free kids meal from Wendy's restaurant as a part of their accomplishment. Now, in this photo are the May winners for the Student of the Month, as school, of course, will be let out before the month is concluded. Front row left to right in this photo are Alia Walton and Braden Barker. In the back row left to right are Chandler Mole, Will Jones, and Abby Vest. Not pictured, Ava Acker. Again, those students also received a free kids meal from Wendy's restaurant for their accomplishment. Well, Bruce Pack and Rodney Kendall presented the demands of Blue Ridge children to the Blue Ridge City Council during their meeting Tuesday. The mayor is looking at temporarily placing some pieces of equipment back into the park area until the playground is built. However, most of this equipment would need underground stabilization, which the city does not want to do right now, just to have to tear it out in 6 weeks. The City Council also added another step to its zoning appeals process. After a zoning appeal is lost at the Planning and Zoning Appeals Board, the appeal then goes to the Blue Ridge City Council. If parties wish to appeal the ruling beyond the council's decision, the next step would be the Superior Court. The Whaleys, the owners of Sycamore Crossing, will be presenting their zoning appeal to the Blue Ridge City Council either later this month or early June. Highway 60 South in Morganton is getting a new name on Saturday. It will now be named Barbara Stevens Highway in honor of Barbara Stevens, a former mayor of Morganton. House Speaker David Ralston is expected to attend the ceremony. More than 50 community leaders gathered at Truett McConnell College Tuesday for the 3rd annual White County Leadership Luncheon. The college took the time to thank the community for their support and update them on the activities taking place at the campus. Dr. Emir Kanner, the Truett McConnell College president, said during their 70 years of existence, community leaders have played a big part of that, saying, quote, "We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for some influential leaders 70 years ago," end quote. Kenner then, of course, told the crowd that the college is gearing up for a very big weekend at the school, with 1,500 people expected on campus for the graduation of 134 students, including the college's very first master's graduate. Kenner also updated the group on the current United States Supreme Court challenge the college and 6 other plaintiffs, have before the court concerning government requirement to provide abortion-causing drugs and devices through their health provider. Kenner said, quote, "Things are looking good. The court has asked for a supplemental brief, which is very rare," end quote. He then later went on to say no decision is expected until the end of June. Kenner then finished up by providing the leaders with an update on building projects on the campus, including the fountain and the new Student Wellness Center. Dawson County will be gaining 5 additional traffic signals this year. The new signals, recently proposed by the Georgia Department of Transportation and approved by the Dawson County Board of Commissioners, will be installed at the following locations: Highway 53 in front of CVS and Burger King, Dawson Village Way and Highway 53, Dawson Forest Road and Gordon Moss Road, Quill Drive and State Road 400, and Carlisle Road and Whitmire Drive and State Road 400. Now, all of the new signals being installed will be funded by private developers. The Dawson County government will be responsible for the electrical usage of all traffic signals, which is expected to be less than $1,000 per year per signal. The installation of all 5 traffic signals will be completed by the end of 2016. The Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau, in partnership with the Dahlonega Women's Club, will co-host a candidates forum tomorrow. The forum will be held at the Lumpkin County Parks and Recreation, located at 365 Riley Road in Dahlonega, and that is set to begin at 5:30 p.m. All candidates that have qualified to run for the May 24th general primary election are invited to participate. And speaking of election coverage, we do have the very best for you right here on FetchYourNews.com. To stay tuned into the latest updates from around our viewing area, you can click on our special button on our homepage titled Election 2016. When we come back here on the Morning Report, we'll take a look at some upcoming meetings as well as our community calendar. Stay tuned.
Doug Collins can't defend his own record. What does he do? He tries to divert our attention from his record, and he's diverting it onto Paul Brown. He is refusing to stand up and talk to us about his record. He wants to talk to us about Windstream. Any congressman that's sitting up there is going to try to help the people with their issues with Windstream. Any congressman sitting up there is going to try to help their people when the Corps of Engineers changes the rules on pulling water out to water your grass. Any congressman will do that. But will any congressman go up there and vote against omnibus bill? Will any congressman go up there and stand for the 9th District instead of standing for Washington? Will any congressman go up there and tell Washington what the 9th District wants instead of coming back here and telling us why Washington has to have its way? I'll tell you, no, not just any congressman will. Let Doug Collins come back and sit down and get out of our hair.
This is Mike Scoopine, and I approve this message.
Paid by Scoopine for Congress.
Trust. Round here, we trust people who get things done. Like our state representative, David Ralston. He's cut taxes and balanced the state budget every year. And Ralston delivers. New roads, new jobs, a new university, and the toughest immigration laws in America. Those Washington guys talk big, but never deliver. Round here, we trust David Ralston. Ralston gets it done.
Doug Collins has been a bad representative for the 9th District.
How bad is it?
Doug is such a bad representative that he won't even represent himself against his challengers for the 9th District seat. Well, that's pretty easy to understand. After all, showing up to defend a record like Doug's is a pretty tall order. Since taking office, Doug has voted with the House leadership over 90% of the time. Doug voted for Boehner for Speaker twice. He voted to spy on you, to bail out Wall Street banks in advance of the next crisis, to train Islamic radicals to take down foreign governments that pose no threat. Doug voted for the Cromnibus, the Omnibus, voted to fund every Title X Planned Parenthood appropriation, and then has the nerve to try to sell you that he did not vote to fund abortion. If you want a representative who will work tirelessly to undo every wrong Doug Collins has done against the will of the 9th District, vote for Mike Skupine, a proven leader protecting the U.S. Constitution.
Mike Skupine, and I approve this message.
Paid by Skupine for Congress.
In 2015, our Gilmer County Probate Court heard over 1,300 criminal cases, 250 estate and guardianship matters, and probated or administered 110 plus wills. Those are very serious issues, and experience matters. We talked about the fact that every county with more than 96,000 people has a licensed attorney as their probate judge. The state requires it. They don't hear different cases. They don't hear different matters. And I don't believe that the due process you receive when you go to the probate court should be based off the county you live in. You want to have a judge who's been there, who's been on the other side of the bench, who's argued that, who knows it, and who can help you. Because compassion isn't always just about being able to listen, but it's being able to do something when you do listen. Experience matters, and I will use my experience in my private practice, in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and in 2 judges' chambers for the people of Gilmer County.
With early voting starting May the 2nd and the primary beginning on May the 24th, you'll be voting to elect leaders to several offices here in Fannin County. When it comes to the Chief Magistrate, you need someone that demonstrates honesty, integrity, and experience. Since being appointed by the Superior Court judges, I've made it my passion to uphold the same values and principles as the Honorable Judge before me. Whether it is answering the call when our community needed me, or operating under budget during my term as Chief Magistrate, it's clear that throughout my 11 years of experience, I have always had Fannin County's best interests at heart. So this May, vote for the right choice. Vote for honesty, integrity, and experience. Vote to keep Sherry Walker.
Welcome back to the Morning Report. I'm Kevin Hensley. Tonight's Fannin County Board of Education meeting will be at Fannin County High School instead of the Board of Education office. It will be held in the cafeteria. The time, however, is still 6 p.m. The Board of Education asked that people wishing to attend the meeting to please park on the stadium side of the cafeteria between the lunchroom and the stadium. There is a scholarship event being held in the High School Performing Arts Center at the same time as the meeting. Families of the scholarship students need to be able to park in front of the Performing Arts Center. Protesters are getting together before the Board of Education at the First Baptist Church down the street from the Board of Education office. They'll begin gathering at 5 p.m. for prayer and will walk from the church to the Board of Education meeting, which again held in the Fannin County High School cafeteria. Now watch the video of Superintendent Mark Henson and the Fannin County Board of Education. In the video, Superintendent Henson states he will follow the law regarding transgender bathrooms. You can see this video on the FetchYourNews.com Fannin County page or on Fetch Your News' YouTube channel. To find meeting announcements with agendas, be sure to go to FetchYourNews.com, and in your respective county, under the News section, you will find the Legal Notice section. Fannin County High School's theater department presents the spring musical 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. That'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. and then again on Saturday at 2 and 7 p.m. Of course, inside the Fannin County High School Performing Arts Center. Admission is $5 at the door. During the 1850s, Millie, played by Charity Tuttle, a pretty young cook, marries Adam, played by Colin Queen, a backwoodsman, after a brief courtship. When the two return to Adam's farm, Millie is shocked to meet his 6 ill-mannered brothers, played by Nate Wood, Tristan Carroll, Dylan Weigel, Josh Melman, Adam Farmer, and Matt Jaffe, all of whom live in his cabin. She promptly begins teaching the brothers proper behavior and, most importantly, how to court a woman. Under the misguided influence of Plutarch Subin's women, the brothers kidnap 6 local beauties, played by Miley Butler, Cheyenne Reynolds, Jenna Garrison, Caitlin Dickey, Amber Stenstrom, and Krista Allen, and a group of indignant villagers tries to track them down. Now, all's well that ends well, but mayhem does ensue prior to the happy ending. Pilgrim's Pride of LJ will be hosting an on-site job fair Saturday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. They're looking to fill both full-time and part-time positions. You can check out the career fair at 125 Industrial Boulevard in LJ. The Fannin County Parks and Recreation Department will be hosting the first annual Touch a Truck event Saturday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. in the Fannin County Recreation Center, at the Fannin County Recreation Center at 370 Tom Boyd Road in Blue Ridge. This is a free event for the public. Let the kids put their imaginations in gear and go. Kids will have the opportunity to climb aboard and get behind the wheel of their favorite vehicles such as dump trucks, learn from their operators, and meet some of their hometown heroes. Lyra, a vocal ensemble from St. Petersburg, Russia, will present a concert of Russian sacred and folk music tomorrow at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Blue Ridge, across from the Kiwanis Fairgrounds. The concert will begin at 7 p.m. Members of Lyra are students or postgraduates of the St. Petersburg Conservatory. Through the performances, they will be introducing musical heritages of the Russian Orthodox Church, as well as traditions of Russian folk music to all the people who are interested in Russia, its history, and culture. The group does sing a cappella. The first half of the concert will feature sacred music of the Russian Orthodox Church, while the second half will feature Russian folk songs. This event also free to the public. The United Methodist Churches of White County will host a Saturday in the Park event this Saturday from 3 to 7 p.m. in Freedom Park in Cleveland. The event includes free food, games, and music. Tents will be set up representing various ministries serving all ages. In cooperation with WRWH Radio, a live radio show will be running from 4:30 to 7 p.m. The public is advised to bring their own chairs or blankets or tune in on the AM dial at 1350. The June Driver's Education course in Lumpkin County will be taking place June the 6th through the 10th. If you have not yet done so, please contact Cheyenne Thornton at 706-482-2629 or via email at cheyenne.thornton@lumpkincounty.gov to confirm your spot in the driver's course. Gilmer County foster parents have came together in hopes to raise funds for the children in Gilmer foster care by making a donation to cast your vote for your favorite nominee to Kiss a Pig. By making a donation, you are giving kids opportunities to do things that they otherwise would not get to do. Donations help them send foster kids to summer camps, provide better care, buy prom dresses, host events and field trips, and so much more. The pig kissing contest will bring our community leaders together in a fun way to help raise funds at the same time. Several people within the community have been nominated to be the pig kissing victim, including Josh Teague, Heather Simmons, Clint Waldrop, Brad Simmons, Stacy Nicholson, Susan Keener, John Reese, Tiffany Paschal, and Andrew Lohman. The winner will be selected by the most money raised. Now, they are accepting donations, that is, of course, votes, via PayPal or a cash drop-off. To cast your vote, simply send them whatever donating amount that you want and put a note for the nominee your donation is voting for. The nominee with the most money will be kissing the handsome pig at a public event that will be held next month. Check out more information on their Facebook page at Gilmer Foster Care Fundraisers. Always be sure to visit fetchyournews.com to stay tuned into a local calendar of events in your county. And if you have any announcements you would like to submit to us about an upcoming event, please send an email to show@fetchyournews.com. When we come back on the morning report, we will bring you updates from spring football practices for both Gilmer and Pickens County. Stay tuned.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like meat lovers, backyard barbecue chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
The Gilmer High School football program all but concluded its 2016 spring training session yesterday with a scrimmage game at Clear Creek Middle School. Head coach Jason Galt was very pleased with the results of the controlled scrimmage, which included White shutting out Purple 15-0 for those of you keeping score at home. Now, a full recap of this game and quotes from Galt will soon be available on FetchYourNews.com. Likewise, the Pickens High School Dragons football contingent is hard at work in the spring sunshine, holding their workouts through the end of next week. Under the guidance of head coach Chris Parker, the Dragons are looking to follow up a state playoff bid last year with another one this fall. Spring practice will conclude for the Green Machine with a game next Friday at Jasper Middle School. Jake Parker became the latest Gilmer High School athlete to sign a college scholarship Tuesday as he put his name on the dotted line to wrestle for Reinhardt University. Parker will join fellow Bobcat signee Keegan Sharp in Reinhardt's first-year effort of placing a wrestling team on the mats. Check out FetchYourNews.com now for more on the signing and quotes from Parker on his accomplishment. The Gilmer High School volleyball team is conducting tryouts this week. 47 girls turned out for the 5-day session, with 13 of those in 8th grade. Head coach Donna Parks will be joined by assistants Susan Nunn and Haley Mitchell, who will coach the JV and 9th grade squads respectively. Gilmer is looking to rebound from an early exit in the region tournament last year. Parks did go on to say by the end of the week, the roster cuts from this week will leave the Lady Cats volleyball squad with roughly 18 to 20 players. Likewise, Kim Charles is putting her Lady Cats through the paces with softball tryouts lasting until Friday. As many of you do remember, Gilmer High School traveled to the second round of the state tournament last year and finished as Region 7-4A runner-up. Upcoming freshman players are being intertwined with the 5 Lady Cats seniors in the tryout process, all vying for the right to play Gilmer High School softball. Kim Charles, of course, is joined by her assistant coach Al Charles and Scott Kaiser. The renovation to Pettit Field at Huff Mosley Memorial Stadium is coming along nicely as the much-hyped artificial turf has finally been laid. The track has also been repaved with further remodeling to include an overhaul of both the home and visitors concession stand, as well as new bathrooms and new fencing. Tomorrow, the Special Olympics are coming to Fannin County. Special Olympics athletes from the Mineral Springs Center, Gilmer County, and Fannin County will compete in track and field events. The competition begins with opening ceremonies at 9 a.m. with music by country music star Mark Wills. The Special Olympics track and field competition will be held, of course, at the Fannin County High School football stadium. Keep a tab on local sports by using the hashtag TeamFYNSports. As the director of Team FYN Sports, please feel free to contact me with any upcoming game announcements, missing information, scores, schedule updates, etc. My email address is kevin@fetchyournews.com. I'm also looking for anyone that wants to help us grow and expand our coverage within our viewing area. So if you want to be a sports writer and you live within one of our 10 counties that we cover and you want to join the Fetch Your News sports reporting team, again, my email address is kevin@fetchyournews.com. Send me an email. Let me know your interest. I would love to hear from you. And remember, we're always looking to spotlight young athletes in a positive manner. Coming up after the break, we will spotlight our Pet of the Week from the Gilmer County Animal Shelter, and we'll wrap up this edition of the Morning Report. But first, we'll take a word from our sponsors.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Better days ahead.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Save big on service at Schadenkirk. Get a full-service oil change for only $29.99. That's right. Get an oil and filter change, tire rotation, brake check, AC check, and multi-point inspection, all for just $29.99.
Give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Get the $29.99 oil change special at Schadenkirk Ford or any of our convenient locations in the heart of Georgia.
As Bentley says, give us a shot at Schadenkirk.
Online at SchadenkirkAtlanta.com.
My name is John Williamson, and I'm running as a candidate for the Georgia Senate in the 51st District, which includes the counties of Gilmer, Fannin, Union, White, Dawson, Lumpkin, and parts of Pickens and Forsyth counties. I'm a 34-year resident in Gilmer County. I've been married 40 years, have 6 children and 16 grandchildren. My serious interest in politics started several years ago with the co-creation of the local Tea Party of Gilmer County. And I've been attending the Board of Commissioners and Board of Education meetings, so I have an idea of the challenges that we face in rural Georgia. I want to talk to you today about my reasons for running for office. My first reason stems from my belief in the Republican values, the underlying Republican values that we all seem to ascribe to, which is low taxes, small government, fiscal responsibility. I have watched our incumbent, Senator Gooch, and the legislature in Georgia violate these principles over the last 6 years. Our senator ran on this platform that I just described 6 years ago. It has never been challenged, but last year he supported and led the largest tax increase in the state of Georgia. The second reason that I'm running is to provide better representation for our 51st District citizens regarding especially taxation and regulation. I want to use 3 illustrations of how our taxes have been increased effectively in the last few years. The first is the sales tax on our private sales of automobiles. How many of you have sold your automobiles to friends and family over the years, and now you have to pay a tax, 7% every time you do this? The second is the 20% tax penalty that we're paying to get our money back for road projects because we did not vote for the T-Splosh. That cost our county recently $100,000 just to get a road grant back. And third, we have the unfair $5 a night tax on hotels and motels, which is a real hurt to our industry, which really lives on tourism in many of our counties. Well, the third reason is, I promise, transparency and the willingness to admit mistakes in judgment. For instance, I have been interpreted that some of my comments, I guess my opponents have been wrong. For that, I apologize. On the other hand, has our senator ever admitted that perhaps the T-Splosh penalty was a poor idea? What about voting to prevent Georgians from obtaining eyeglasses over the internet? Did this serve his constituents' interests? Could it possibly be related to a campaign contribution by the Georgia Eyeglass Association? What about the need to license lactation consultants? Does grandma really need a license to teach her granddaughter to breastfeed? Aren't you offended when the politicians come back to the districts during elections with checks, road grants, and grants in their hand, posing for photographs? That's what they're supposed to be doing. That's why we elected them. That's their job. And second, that's our money they're bringing back to us. That's our money. Don't be fooled. Now, I have a vision for Georgia that includes solutions to some of our most pressing statewide problems. I want to leave the state in better shape for our grandchildren and their children. For instance, there are welfare and education reforms that have been demonstrated to work in other states, and we can do it here in Georgia. We also need to stop our state from traveling down the road of fiscal irresponsibility by adding such long-term debt. These are some of the issues I'd like to work on to secure the best future for our families in Georgia. I want to represent you. I'll be open to listening to your concerns and working with you in the Atlanta, Georgia Senate. Please check out my website for other issues that you may have questions about. It's Williamson 2016, and call me anytime. I'm John Williamson, and I'm running for the Senate seat in the 51st District to give you a choice and a voice. If I am your choice, I will be your voice in Atlanta. Please vote on May 24th.
Welcome back to North Georgia's only live online morning news show, The Morning Report. I'm Kevin Hensley. Some say you can't buy friends, and those people must not live in Gilmer County. For a small adoption fee, you can get your very best friend at the Gilmer County Animal Shelter. Girlie always listens, but never judges, even if you dress funny. Girlie will always take your side, even if you're wrong. She won't talk about you behind your back or ditch you for another, and she's always available when you need her the most. Girlie is a 2-year-old super sweet pity mix that gets along great with other dogs. Girlie will be your very best friend till the end. The Gilmer County Animal Shelter is located at 4152 Highway 52 East in Ellijay. Their phone number is 706-635-2166. And they're open to the public Tuesday through Saturday from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Don't forget, if you see news happening, you can call our 24-hour news tip line at 706-889-9700. That is it for today's show, and we will see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm Kevin Hensley. Thanks for watching.